अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल सना साजिद। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है कंडीशंस ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम। फॉर अ बॉडी टू बी इन इक्विलिब्रियम इट हैज़ टू कंडीशंस। फर्स्ट condition of equilibrium, whereas the second one is called second condition of equilibrium. First of all, we are going to discuss first condition of equilibrium. According to the first condition of equilibrium, when the vector sum of all the forces is acting on a body is zero, then the first condition of equilibrium is satisfied. Now, for the first condition, vector sum of forces should be equal to zero. So mathematically, if F net is the sum of the forces F1, F2, F3 up to so on Fn, therefore sum of n should be net is equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus up to plus Fn, and all the sum should be zero. For example, we are going to draw some forces over here which we prove their sum equal to zero. Like this is force F1, then this is force F2, then F3 is in this planar, and F4 is in this planar, and F5 is in this planar. We have to prove all these forces and we have to prove their result. Now I have to add all these forces. Here I will draw an origin point and draw a force in this planar F1. Then on the head of F1 I replace the head of F2. I am going to draw F2 in this way. F2 come on the first diagram. I will take F3. Then I will draw this force on the head of F2. This is F3 and I am going to draw this force like this. F3. Then I have to draw F4. So this force is F4 in this way. And then I have to draw F5 and it is F5 in this way. And in this way I have drawn all the forces F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. On the head of F1 I have drawn F2, on the head of F2 I have drawn F3, on the head of F3 I have drawn F4, and on the head of F4 I have drawn F5. It means the resultant is equal to 0. System of coplanar forces. They are lying in xy plane just like this one. Then each force can be resolved into IEG components and XY components, and their resultant should be equal to F I is equal to sum of F X I plus sum of F F Y J components and this sum shows again the components of 0. Sum of all x components should be equal to 0 and sum of all y components should be equal to 0. So in this way we can define sum of all. In this condition we have defined the first condition of equilibrium, and the vector sum of all the forces acting on a body is 0. Then this condition is satisfied and their vector sum is equal to 0. Hence it is proved.